Republicans had a terrible election night on Tuesday, as we have discussed, and the GOP has said that one thing that needs to happen is that Trump needs to stop pretending the economy is great while Americans are actually in their everyday lives suffering. So, well, he had a few events yesterday, so let's see if he took his party's advice.
In 9 months, we've lifted over 600,000 Americans off of food stamps, which is a record. And I tell Republicans, if you want to win elections, you got to talk about these facts, Energy is way down. Look at energy. We're going to have $2 gasoline. I did that. That brings everything else down. Groceries are way down other than beef. Now, beef is going to come down. We have to do that. And the country's doing very well. But as Republicans, you have to talk about it. And grocery prices are way down. Prices are coming down very fast, and we're bringing them back where we have the greatest economy right now. A lot of people don't see that. And I think that we can honestly say, and I think you're going to see it even more so over the next 12 months, that this is the golden age of America. This is the golden age.
Yeah, what a surprise. He just doubled down on all of the lies and he said, you know what, we need to do more of that. We need to start telling more lies. Well, I'm not just saying that these are lies. There were some fact checks, and just a quick fact check on his statement that the grocery prices are, quote, way down. Grocery prices are up, not way down. Latest federal data from September shows that they're up 2.7% since September 2024. They're up 1.4% since January 2025, and even up 0.3% since August 2025, after rising 0.6% from July to August, which was the largest spike in 3 years. But that is not stopping Trump from trying to gaslight the public into thinking that we're in some sort of golden era of this country. So he posted this to Truth Social. He said, happy anniversary. On this day, November 5th, 1 year ago, we had one of the greatest presidential victories in history. Such an honor to represent our country. Our economy is booming and costs are coming way down. Affordability is our goal. Love to the American people. All right, remember the 5th of November, indeed. Anyway, he got grokked over on X for lying about prices. He had posted this. It said, Walmart just announced that prices for a Thanksgiving dinner is now down 25% since under sleepy/crooked Joe Biden in 2024. Affordability is a Republican stronghold. Hopefully Republicans will use this irrefutable fact. To which Grok said, no, missing context. The 2025 Walmart Thanksgiving meal contains 15 items, while the 2024 meal contained 21 items. Additionally, most of the brand name items in the 2024 meals were replaced with great value items. But Trump is really trying to make affordability the Republicans' thing, but he thinks he can just do that just by talking about affordability, not by actually making things more affordable for people. But it's not working because, as you can see here, get that graphic up. Okay, so 34% of registered voters believe that the Trump administration has lived up to expectations on the economy, while 63% say it's fallen short. And you can also see that he's fallen short by 65 and 66% for looking out for the middle class and also for inflation and the cost of living respectively. And now layoffs have accelerated in October. I think they said it's the worst layoffs. Yeah, just that we've seen in a long time in this country, pushing 2025 job cuts to levels typically seen in recessions. So, maybe that's a hint. This headline from the Washington Post says, layoffs rise to recession-like levels through October, the new report says. And the article says, US employers have announced 1.1 million layoffs so far this year, the largest reading since the pandemic recession, and on par with 2008 and 2009 job cuts during the Great Recession, the firm's figures show. The data includes a recent spate of layoffs at major companies such as UPS, Amazon, and Target, and adds to growing concern about a labor market showdown. So the economy is not doing well, and Trump was asked by Fox's Bret Baier about the concerns of a specific Republican who voted for him 3 times. Let's watch.
She is a registered Republican all her life. She voted for you 3 different times, but she is not happy about how her prices have not come down that she sees. And she said this, quote, I want the Republicans to keep control of Congress in 2026, but something has to be done fast. I don't see the best economy right now. Wall Street numbers do not reflect my Main Street money. Please do something, President Trump. So I guess what do you say to Regina and people like her?
Well, I do say this. Beef we have to get down. I think of groceries. You know, it's an old-fashioned word, but it's a beautiful word. Beef we have to get down, but we've got prices way down. And think of this. Energy. She drives a car, probably, and her energy prices are way down. And energy is so all-encompassing. It's so big that when energy goes down, everything comes down. Everything follows it. And I have energy down to 5-6-year lows now.
So you think prices are coming down from this?
I believe that. Yeah, I think they're coming down, but I think they're down already. I think the biggest problem is Republicans don't talk about it. They don't talk about the word affordability.
So he's basically telling his supporters, don't believe your own lion eyes and your empty wallets. And, he acknowledged a few different things in since election night, really. He acknowledged that Republicans are losing the PR battle because a lot of Americans seem to be blaming Republicans for the shutdown. He seems to acknowledge that the Democrats reflect the American values more, where they want things to be more affordable. They want things to be more livable. They don't like this gilded age level of disparity within this country. People don't have enough money for very, very basic things. And he keeps saying, you know what, groceries, which is a great word. It's an old fashioned word, but a great one. He says that all the time, by the way. If you guys don't know, it's really weird, his obsession with that word groceries. But he says, groceries are down. He also thinks that you need an ID to buy groceries. So tell me how I know that this man has never actually been in a grocery store. So how could he know? And he did acknowledge that, beef is a problem, but instead of, supporting the American farmers and ranchers, instead he's going to Argentina and Brazil for beef. And, we already know how much money he's been giving to the Argentinian government. Was it Argentina? I don't know, my brain went.
Argentina, yeah. Argentina.
I said it and it sounded wrong for a second.
Listen, if you say Argentina weird, that's justice, because they speak Spanish weird.
They do, yeah, and they're proud of it though, right? So
yes, they do.
So what are your thoughts, Brett?
Okay, so gas prices, or energy prices are up 5.1% on the year, which is outpacing inflation. Your electric bill is something like 40% more now than it was in 2020. There's your affordability. If he's talking about gas prices are higher than they were last year. I don't know what to say to this guy. His main thing is to just try to Jedi mind trick us into believing that our lives are better. His life is better. He just pumped and dumped all his supporters into $1 billion crypto scheme. His life's great. Are you kidding me? He's gonna be fine. And I love that the affordability message is going to be delivered by Republicans who are the how much can a banana be worth, Michael? $10 people.
Yes.
A billionaire who put gold on the walls of the already resplendent White House is going to talk to us about standard of living for people who are trying to make ends meet. It's not true. And everything he is doing only makes prices higher. He is a tariff guy. Tariffs are economically used. You can approach things by trying to bring prices down or try to make wages higher. That's what you're going after, right? Wages, the tariff one is a make wages higher situation, unless you're using tariffs to get them to get rid of their tariffs, in which case you're bringing the prices down. But he isn't doing that. That hasn't happened at all. He is only, and he's touting how much more expensive it is for us. Caroline Levitt was just like, oh, we got $400 billion or something in tariffs to pay down the debt. We pay for it as consumers when we buy stuff. That is basically a tax on us going to the national debt. But that tax is only how much more we're paying for stuff just on the label of tariffs. not how much everyone else is kind of adjusting. Because like the fundamentals in America are better than they are in other countries in many ways, and that results in it's being more expensive to make stuff here.
Mhm.
And so all we're doing in this tariff battle is trying to make it just as expensive to get it from Vietnam as it is to get it from America. In that sentence, the prices are not going down, period. And he's gonna lose this argument because at the same time, for the people who need SNAP benefits to make up the difference, when he says, oh, we got a lot of people off it. Yeah, because you kicked them off it. Not
Yeah.
because their lives are so much tangibly better, because you just kicked them and you're so proud. Your ego is so big. Then rather than make healthcare more affordable and put food on people's tables as the government, you want to win a negotiation. And
Yeah, I
in
mean,
not solving that negotiation, you have absolutely lost it, buddy.
yeah, his priorities are all over the place. We've always known that about him, though, that his priorities were always about him and his friends potentially. Sometimes if he is feeling benevolent and generous, then he'll look out for his friends, but it's always about him, his family, his business, whatever is going to make them the most money.